Jokers.
Working full-time at the palace. Jesters, swarthy servants, and dwarves.
Today, if we released a 16th century court jester from the palace of the Grand Dukes onto the streets of Vilnius, we'd probably think he was a hipster. After all, both just wanted to stand out from the crowd. The most famous Renaissance-era jester was Stanisław Stanczyk, a member of the court of Sigismund the Old, ruler of Lithuania and Poland, who we know visited Vilnius. Stanczyk was legendary, mentioned in books, painted by artists, even commemorated by a monument in Poland. One time, he made a bet with Sigismund the Old himself. "My king, did you know that most people in the world are doctors? You don't believe me?" So, he conducted a social experiment. He tied a scarf around his face and walked around the palace moaning, pretending he had toothache. Then he walked out into the street, and upon returning, he said to the king, "And so it is. Most are doctors. Everyone advised me how to cure my toothache." Then, as now, the powerful in this world sought to collect all kinds of curiosities. They'd create menageries with lions, camels, and exotic birds. They'd commission devices that moved and even spoke. So, court gestures were almost a required attribute of any palace. It was also fashionable to have dwarves and dark-skinned servants. Such courtiers lived not only in the royal palace, but also in the homes of Lithuania's wealthier nobles. Jesters and dwarfs were full-time employees, as we'd call them today. They'd receive wages and money for clothes, their income was comparable to the lowest category of courtier, and their owners would sell them or gift them at will. During the Livonian War, the Lithuanian nobleman, Krzysztof Radziwiłł, captured several dwarfs belonging to the Grand Duke Moscow and sent them as a gift to his fiancée, Katarzyna. Sometimes, beloved servants received very handsome gifts. The same Krzysztof Radziwiłł bequeathed 50 gold pieces to his jester, Onike, a huge sum enough to purchase 125 well-fed piglets. Ooh. Just don't think that jesters were telling jokes from morning till night. Some were able to ensure a very comfortable future for themselves, purchasing an estate and several surrounding villages, for example. One nobleman's jester even went on to serve as his treasurer. All told, jesters were more like intellectual companions than street-performing clowns. Some jesters were even fluent in several languages. They'd read books to their lords and play music for them during meals. In other words, they knew how to play regular music as well as how to read notes. A few hundred years ago, this was a rare thing. And of course, they had a wonderful sense of humor. The aforementioned Stanisław Stanczyk, jester to Sigismund the Old, once watched leeches being applied to the king's body, a method doctors used to reduce blood pressure. Seeing how, once they had lost all their fill of blood, the leeches would drop off, Stanczyk remarked, "Oh, truly they are your friends. They hang around only as long as there is blood to suck."